Up, it's David Duford here at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producers. And today's video continues our 5-part series on how to become a $250,000 producer in the life insurance business. Specifically, we're doing video 4 or 5 today, and we're going to talk about lapse minimization. A wise agent once told me in the insurance business that it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And that is the topic for today's video, how to actually keep what you sell and to prevent those people who have buyer's remorse or decide against keeping what it is you sold them. So the reason this is really important, because this is a widely varying type of number that can have a dramatic impact on your bottom line. And so what I'm going to give you are 4 different, I would say, tips to help minimize the potential for a lapse of happening. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. The first one is what I would call the last chance scripting. So what I like to do sometimes in certain sales calls is give the opportunity to the client to change his mind. And that in exchange for that opportunity to change his mind, if he doesn't, then he is completely committed. So what I'll do during the cool down or before I leave the sales call, I'll say, look, I just want to make 100% sure you are completely on board with taking this policy out. This price works good for you. Is that right? You're completely 100% happy with this. Is that correct? Because please tell me now, Mr. Prospect, if this doesn't work for you, I'll be happy to tear this up, be done with this. We don't have to take this out if you're not completely 100% committed to hanging on to this thing for the foreseeable future. Do you agree to be that committed? Something like that. You know, you're kind of drawing the line in the sand, and you're giving that person the opportunity to back out of the deal. Now, you would think, well, why would you want to do that? Well, on one hand, I think if somebody's going to be Weasley, this is the time to do it, not after you've made the sale, made the advance, and then have to go chase them down and waste a lot of money. So I want to give that opportunity to them now, but also it gets the prospect to verbalize their commitment to you. And I believe by that verbal confirmation to everything that you're saying, they're going to be a more powerful and more sticky client, because now they've given you their word. And that means something to the people that we sell in this business. So make sure you use that. And you want to be sincere with that as well. I would much rather get rid of this client now than wait 3 months because I pushed them into something and now they're having buyer's remorse. So second thing is selling to budget. I mentioned this in several videos. I'm a big believer in making sure whatever we sell the client is easily affordable. I want to make sure they know that's my intention. As my intention is to help with a life insurance plan to get them approved, but it has to be easily affordable. I'm not in the interest of pushing for more than what they can afford. So for example, if I'm selling final expense, the way that script sounds is, Mr. Jones, the last question I want to ask you, there's a series of questions before that. 9 out of 10 people I see are on a fixed income, and the last thing I want someone like that to be in the situation of is paying too much for their insurance they bought from me. What good is insurance if you got to drop it in 6 months because it's too affordable, the heating bill's through the roof, it's a waste of your money. The best policy to have, Mr. Jones, is the one that pays for your final expenses like you want, and that's the one that's most affordable. So I say all this because I want to garner that rapport and trust from them, that they know that I'm sincerely committed to making sure that their budget is respected in the sale of the life insurance product. So always make sure that you're showing budget and consciousness for your client. That doesn't mean you have to stick within the budget. You can always show at the end of the sales presentation, like I teach, a good, better, best presentation of price and face amount, and have one of those amounts slightly outside of the budget range. And that won't cause a concern with your client because they've got options that are within that budget. Number 3 is a cool down. So what you have to remember about interactions with human beings is they're not logical, okay? Maybe you've had experiences like that where they were definitely not logical. Well, what I mean by saying that is that we're all emotional. We're not logical people. I mean, we like to say we're logical, but we're all driven by these animal urges to do things. And what we remember about our interactions and experiences with people is the emotion, and so much not so much the logic, but the emotion. Ask anybody that you've done business with if you've sold insurance before. They probably won't remember the exact face amount or the dollar amount or when the policy expires, but they'll remember if you're a good guy, if you're a good salesperson, and you were treated the prospect right. That's what they're going to remember. And a cool down allows for that final memory to be of a positive experience. The best way to cool down at the end of a sales call, that's where you do the cool down, is to just talk about anything other than insurance. Maybe go back to whatever you initially talked about in the beginning that was non-insurance related, create more of a personal connection. And when you leave, that's what they're going to remember or have a higher chance of remembering. Last thing I'll say here is consider policy delivery. In some businesses, it makes sense to deliver your policies. By delivering the policies, you get the advantage of re-cementing the sale, re-solidifying the sale, going over everything and recommitting from that client. Everybody I've ever talked to who's delivered a policy has reported better than average persistency, and they feel, in some cases, more referrals, but just a better overall quality of business. So I hope these 4 tips, again, help you, which is, drawing the line in the sand with the scripting, making sure that you sell to the budget, make sure that you also properly cool down, and then consider delivering the policy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you like it, please thumbs it up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about this technique or if there's anything you'd like me to expand on. And make sure you check out my website. It's davidduford.com. If you're interested in working with me personally and selling final expense, mortgage protection, Medicare supplements, or annuities, click the link at the top that says Working with Dave Agency to find out more. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. Thank you very much. Bye.